Welcome everyone to this Nordic stream. First stream we're gonna do a little bit of training for you guys to learn a bit more about. In today's stream it's about VFR and VFR planning and flying, and later also we'll probably touch on areas of airline flights in general. And yeah, all questions will be done on the YouTube chat. So please ask your questions there as we are moving on with these flights. So the flight today is from Gothenburg Säve to Borås Viared, which is an uncontrolled airport or airfield. If we have a look at SkyVector, where I usually plan my flights, it's roughly from here. Then we're gonna go south through Gothenburg, make a couple of touch and goes there, and then up to Borås over here. So to plan this flight, the easiest way, the way I do it, is to just bring the select your departure and destination, and then plot your route more or less. We would like to go to the south to leave the control zone, and then to enter the other control zone, just to give you a heads up on how that would look. Don't know. Here we go. So when we enter the control zone, we want to enter via Lindome, of course if ATC permits us, and then fly up to Landvetter, do a couple of touch and goes or low approaches, and then we'll see what they clear us out to continue towards the east via Hindås or Hallingsjö, I expect. So to enter, it's about here, Lindome, and then, well, we don't know where we're gonna go out. Crossing Landvetter, VR here, Lindome over there, and then we don't know which way we're gonna go out, so at this point it's not that important. The easiest way for us to file this on Iveo is to make a navlog out of this, and the only we really need here is that we need one waypoint every 30 minutes or 200 nautical miles, whichever is the longest. So in this case our aircraft can do about 110, 115 knots. It's a Cessna 172. That means that we can't do 200 miles in 1 hour. However, we can do about 115. So that means every 30 minutes we will have to have a waypoint. As you can see up here, we only have, the whole flight is about 22 minutes at 110 at 8,000 feet. That's a bit high. Let's call it 1,500 feet. Still about 23 minutes. So I will elect to choose this waypoint and also this Landvetter waypoint, as that will give the main reason is we do want the search and rescue services to know where we plan to fly, because that's where they're going to start to look first in case we don't make it to our destination. If you then press navlog, it gives you the route more or less directly. I'll show you in a second. It shows up there. Here you can see the whole route, what you've planned, and what you mainly is interested in is the route here. So if we copy that one and then have a look at our flight plan that we're going to file. We will add this in as the route. Start with direct, put in the route, and then direct. However, we said we didn't want the second waypoint, so we'll take that away and put a direct to Landvetter VFR. That means that we're going to fly straight down here to this waypoint, cross over here to enter via this entry point here, Lindome, fly up to the airport, do some air work, and then exit either up here at Hindås or here at Hallingsjö, and then continue to Borås. Good. Any questions so far? Yes, Nathan, we'll come to that. That's the point here. We do have Gothenburg control online, so the TMA controller, and we also do have the tower controller at Landvetter Gothenburg Airport. So first of all, we have to get the clearance out from Säve, the airport we're at, and I'm going to try to get a clearance to the south. As if we look at the chart for Säve quickly, we can see that there's an exit point over here, which is Juvik. There's another one at Agnesberg, Bohus Ale, Lyckeryr, Stora Raven. That's kind of the one, but bear in mind that these are optional for the tower controller to use, or the controller to use, if they need. They're not compulsory for you to fly. So what I would like to do is just go straight south if ATC permits. Otherwise, if he has traffic there, I might have to go via some of the entry and exit points. Then, as we come out here, I will try to get a clearance to cross the restricted area. It's not active today, so it should be fine. But it's still, even if it's not active, you still have to ask for clearance to cross it. Then cross over here, then we'll get to Lindome, and this is where, before I get here, I will have to contact the tower controller at Landvetter Airport to get clearance to enter for my touch and goes up at the airport. And the same thing to leave the control zone, I will have to get clearance again once we are going through here. Touch and goes either out here or here, just departing to the east. If you have any further questions, please just let me know along the way. Alright, any other questions on the flight planning? I'll start up the airport, the aircraft while we get on our way here. Yeah, always set your parking brake. That's a good idea. It's a beautiful day today. Clear skies up in Gothenburg. Can't complain. Perfect for VFR flight. So let's tune Gothenburg TMA 124680. Try to get some clearance here. Göteborg kontroll, god eftermiddag, Sierra Echo, Lima, Victor Bravo.
Sierra Echo, Lima, Victor Bravo i Göteborg kontroll. God dag.
Sierra Echo, Lima, Victor Bravo at the apron at Säve, request taxi for departure to the south.
Sierra Victor Bravo, local QNH 998, taxi holding point 19.
QNH 998, taxi holding point 19, Sierra Echo, Lima, Victor Bravo. Alright, so can taxi out to runway 19, which is perfect, going towards the south.
Göteborg Oscar Alpha Hotel. Oscar Alpha Hotel, pass your message. Oscar Alpha Hotel for information, we're now overhead Echo Sierra Golf Mike. We'll do some touch and goes here until advised. Oscar Alpha Hotel.
Looks like we got an inbound here, short final. So first, let's do the run-ups, see if the engine is alright. No hiccups. Run up to 1800 RPMs. Check first the left magnetos shouldn't drop more than 150. It only dropped about 100 RPMs, so that's all good. Then the right one, same thing there.
Charlie Bravo, Charlie runway.
And all the instruments are correct, we got full fuel, everything.
Echo Golf Charlie, welcome to Säve, taxi to the apron.
Taxi at our discretion, thank you very much for your control. Echo Charlie Bravo, Charlie.
Sierra Victor Bravo, I have a clearance ready to copy.
Sierra Victor Bravo ready for departure and request southbound departure.
Sierra Victor Bravo, squawk 1172 after the departure. Clear to exit control zone to the south, 1,500 feet or below.
Squawk 1172, we clear to exit the control zone to the south 1,500 feet or below, Sierra Victor Bravo.
Victor Bravo, correct. Surface wind is calm. Runway 19er, clear for takeoff.
Runway 19er, clear for takeoff, Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, so we got to leave to the south, that was nice. By the controller, we don't have to fly any extra circuits. And now at least it's a good idea to set the squawk code before you forget and turn the transponder on. And here we go. There we go, climbing up to 1500 feet, beautiful view of late afternoon in Gothenburg. I have to say the new simulator, it's fantastic when it comes to the visuals and the graphics. Lacking some other stuff, but hopefully that will come in the future. So now the next thing, when it comes to communication,
with the engines
be
off,
to tell the
parking brake
controller
on.
we are exiting the control zone once we get to the
Echo Golf Charlie, thanks for flying. Have a great afternoon. Frequency clearance is
magenta
put. Bye-bye.
or pink line.
We do want to do decimal lane. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you for
And
your
then
control.
we're in
Bye bye. See you.
uncontrolled airspace below 1500 feet. And if you fly exactly 1500 feet, you're technically always in the lower grade. So if the airspace above 1500 is Charlie in this case, you're still in Golf because that's how it works. However, if you go up to 1510, then you're in Charlie airspace. Lean out aircraft. Don't use so much fuel unnecessarily. And now it's only to enjoy the view. So now we're approaching the airspace border for the control zone. Sierra Victor Bravo leaving the control zone to the south, 1,500 feet.
Sierra Victor Bravo, frequency change is approved, or stay with me for traffic information?
We'll stay with you for traffic information and also request to fly through restriction area 062 towards Lindome.
Sierra Victor Bravo cleared to fly through 062.
We cleared through restriction area 062. Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, so now we can pass through there, no problems. And then we'll have to find our way towards Lindome and then talk to tower controller at Landvetter. And as you can see, I'm not using the GPS for anything here, so I'm trying to use the map from SkyVector in general, and also looking out the window, trying to find some lakes that match up with where I'm going and the cities and so on. So I suspect that this town or city down here is Lindome, and that's where we want to enter. So we had clearance already to leave the frequency, so we don't have to ask for permission there. But since I did ask to go through the restriction area, I think it's a good idea to tell them that we're going to leave. Göteborg, Sierra Victor Bravo, request frequency change to Landvetter Tower.
Sierra Victor Bravo, frequency change is approved.
Frequency change approved, Sierra Victor Bravo. And the frequency for tower, 118605. Now it's important that I talk to tower before I enter, not allowed to enter until I have permission to do so. Landvetter Tower, very good afternoon, Sierra Echo, Lima Victor Bravo.
Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo, Landvetter Tower.
Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo, we got information. Sierra, QNH 998, we're just west of Lindome, 2 persons, Cessna 172, request to enter control zone for a couple of touch and goes in the circuit.
Sierra Victor Bravo, information Sierra is correct. Cleared to enter the Landvetter control zone via Lindome, 1,500 feet or below, QNH 998.
Cleared to enter Landvetter TMA 1,500 feet or below via Lindome, QNH 998, Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo.
Echo India Sierra, late downwind, touch and go.
So we can already see the airports over
Echo
here.
India Sierra,
To
surface
our
wind
left.
290 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, cleared touch and go.
So we clear to enter, we're now
Runway
entering,
21, clear
and
touch and go, Echo India Sierra.
a point where you have to tell controller.
Sierra Victor Bravo, cleared right-hand circuit, runway 21, 1,500 feet or below, join downwind, right-hand downwind runway 21.
Cleared for right-hand circuit, runway 21, 1,500 feet or below, joining right-hand downwind runway 21, and we just passed Lindome. Sierra Victor Bravo. So it's a mandatory reporting point, which you have to tell them every time you pass it.
Sierra Victor Bravo, traffic information, Cessna 172 at your 11 o'clock, 8 miles. Report traffic in sight.
Looking for traffic, Sierra Victor Bravo. So around 11 should be somewhere around here. Can't see them yet, but yeah, over there. The benefit of flying simulators, the lights are very exaggerated. I don't think with distance I wouldn't see him in real life. How I determine the en route altitude? It depends on the airspaces. So in case, and also what I want to do and how busy the airspace above is. So if we quickly have a look at the airspaces around here, you can see we went from here inside and now we're inside here. So here it's 1500 and down, that's the control zone, and it's Charlie airspace. When I go outside in this area, it's free airspace below 1500. So in case I don't want to talk to anyone and I want to fly in uncontrolled airspace, I will have to stay below 1500 or 1500 or below. However, if I go out in this area to the right, where we're going to pass through later on, you can see it's now 2500. And I still don't have to talk to anyone if I go to 2500 here. Further out here I can go to 4500. And in other areas there might be, like this area, it's up to 9 or 5 because that's the lowest for the general control in Sweden. However, I can always ask Gothenburg Control to fly higher. So it depends on weather, the control zones, what area you are in. Here it's no problem to fly higher.
Echo India Sierra, traffic
However,
information,
if
Cessna
you
172
are, for
in the
example,
circuit at your
around
1 o'clock, report traffic
London,
in sight.
you wouldn't be able, they wouldn't let you
Traffic in sight, Echo India Sierra.
if there's no traffic
Echo
around.
India Sierra, maintain visual separation.
Alright, so the airport is
Okay,
on
Echo
our
India Sierra.
right clock, correction, our right side. There's the traffic. Lima Victor Bravo, right downwind runway 21, touch and go, and we got the traffic departing in sight.
Sierra Victor Bravo, maintain visual separation. Surface wind 290 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, clear touch and go.
Runway 21, clear touch and go, and maintain separation, Sierra Victor Bravo. Yeah, you can use QFE. It's quite rare that you get the QFE from the controller. So if the controller gives you 1500 feet on a QNH, you can't fly 1500 QFE, because that would most likely have you flying higher, as on the ground it will be 0 on QFE. Does that answer your question?
Echo India Sierra, downwind, touch and go.
Echo India Sierra, roger, number 2 behind the Cessna 172, extend downwind.
So let's slow down and get some flaps out and start our
Number 2
base
following
turn.
the Cessna 172, extending downwind as
And it's nice to
we'll
fly a
report
bit
final
as well,
Echo
so
India
let's
Sierra.
turn off the autopilot. Now you can all have a little laugh at my flying skills. Let's turn off the marker here, so we don't hear the outer marker and the inner marker on our final. And we're already cleared for the touch and go, so no need to call her up on base or final. If I didn't have a clearance by now, they might, if for any reason they couldn't give me a touch and go or landing clearance already on the downwind leg, you will have to call them at least on final, or if they tell you to report another area. Probably gonna overshoot a bit here. Quite a lot. Oh, I see. Yeah, in the UK, they're quite different in many ways when it comes to how they do their. Yeah, they have quite some differences when it comes to the rest of Europe when in aviation. I think in Sweden at least, QFE was mainly used for military operations, but nowadays it's not, as far as I know.
Echo India Sierra, final runway 21.
Echo India Sierra, roger, continue approach number 2.
Continue number 2, Echo India Sierra.
We made it, first one at least. Yeah, Emil, that makes sense.
Echo India Sierra, wind 290 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, clear touch and go.
Runway 21, Touch and go, Echo India Sierra.
Yeah, like Emil says, especially if you fly from a smaller airfield where there's no tower or any weather information, and you're planning to get back there, using the QFE is because the QFE or the QNH, the pressure is not going to change that much, which means that if you take off from one altitude, which in QFE would tell you 0 feet no matter how high you are, you would then be able to come back to that altitude if you set the same QNH, and it won't differ much, because usually on a normal day the QNH or the pressure isn't changing that much. And Emil, since you're here, please don't go too hard on me on how I treat this Cessna. I've never flown a Cessna in real life, so I don't know how it works. Sierra Victor Bravo, downwind runway 21 for low approach.
Sierra Victor Bravo.
Alright, so she acknowledged that I called her. That means that she heard what I said as well.
Sierra Victor Bravo, surface wind 290 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, cleared low approach.
Runway 21, cleared low approach, Sierra Victor Bravo. Try not to overshoot this time. Not promising anything. But yes, so she said initially just my call sign, which means that she heard what I said and she will get back to me once she can actually give me the clearance. Might be that she had another aircraft on the runway and then she's unable to clear me for obvious reasons.
Echo India Sierra, downwind, touch and go.
Echo India Sierra.
Alright, it was better this time, but still not good enough. So this time we'll make a low approach, which means we can go very low towards the runway, but we're not allowed to touch down with the wheels on the runway. It's pretty much the only difference. The difference between a low approach and a low pass would be more, you wouldn't go as low on a low pass, because mainly you want the tower controllers to be able to see if there's anything possibly wrong with your aircraft, in case you have an aircraft with retractable gear. So if you have a problem with one of the landing gears not getting into position when you extend it, then you will ask for a low pass, and there's no reason to fly this low on a low pass. Alright, let's get up again. And on the last one, I think we're gonna ask for a stop and go, and then we're gonna leave towards Borås, which is to our left, to the east.
Echo India Sierra, report final.
Approach final runway 21, Echo India Sierra.
Echo India Sierra, wind 290 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, clear touch and go.
Runway 21, clear touch and go, Echo India Sierra.
Emil, what was wrong with your aircraft when you did the low path? Sierra Victor Bravo, downwind runway 21, request stop and go.
Sierra Victor Bravo, roger, left-hand orbits at the end of downwind until advised.
At the end of the downwind, left-hand orbit until advised, Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, so we can see from here she has one touch and go, and there's one at the holding point. So I will have to hold over here at the end of the downwind. Give her some separation. So then we can also slow down a bit. There's no need to fly
Echo
very
India
fast.
Sierra, left-hand orbits at the beginning of downwind until advised, departure ahead.
Left-hand orbits beginning at downwind until advised, Echo India Sierra.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did you find out what was the origin of the loud bang afterwards? I wish they could find a way to put these IVEO text messages somewhere else than in the middle of the screen, but I guess that's a Microsoft thing more than anything else.
Echo India Sierra, an Airbus 320 departing runway 21.
Traffic just inside Echo India Sierra.
Sierra Victor Bravo, orbits cancelled, wind 280 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, cleared to land, report ready for departure.
Cancelling orbits, and we cleared to land runway 21, Wilco Sierra Victor Bravo. That's a good question. Emil, how low did you go on your low pass? I've never done a low pass. On a low approach you can go almost all the way down without touching. Low approach is used a bit in Sweden.
Echo India
training,
Sierra, orbits cancelled,
because
continue
some of the
downward.
airports you will have to pay a
Orbit
landing fee.
cancelled, we'll
But
continue
if you do
downwind
a low
Echo India
approach,
Sierra.
you do not, which makes it a lot cheaper for the student. I guess you can tell I'm not flying a lot of VFR these days. Yeah, exactly, Yanni. It's an excellent way of avoiding landing fees. Alright, so we've landed. Now we just have to report when we want to go again. Sierra Victor Bravo ready for departure, and we would like to leave the control zone to the east towards Borås.
Sierra Victor Bravo, after departure, clear to leave the Landwetter control zone via Hallingsjö, 1,500 feet or below, QNH 998.
QNH 998, we cleared to leave the control zone via Hallingsjö, 1,500 feet or below, Sierra Victor Bravo.
Sierra Victor Bravo, correct, wind 280 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21, clear for takeoff, Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, so we're gonna make a left turn and go towards Hallingsjö. And since there is a VOR,
Echo India Sierra,
this
report intention.
airport, I'm gonna show you a way that
Touch and go,
it's
Echo
easier to
India Sierra.
find the entry-exit points if there is
Echo
a
India
VOR.
Sierra,
It's also
Roger,
on the
report
charts.
final.
Not all charts have that.
Reporting final, Echo India Sierra.
VOR distance and radial set for visual approach charts. Good thing here in Nordic region, all these charts are freely available on the internet, so that's not the case everywhere. So to do this, we need to find the Landvetter VOR frequency, which is 114.6. Put that in. And then the radial is 114. So if we put that
Echo
in,
India Sierra, surface wind 280 degrees, 04 knots, runway 21, clear, touch and go.
114, that's about there.
Runway
We can
21,
see
clear,
now
touch and
that
go, Echo India Sierra.
that line is behind us, which is perfectly fine because the VOR is at the airport and we're now south of it. So if we kind of fly a little bit more to the northeast of 114, where we find
Sierra Victor Bravo, report overhead Hallingway.
Wilco, Sierra Victor Bravo. So let's fly about 100 degrees for now. Also get the autopilot on. 1400. Should always set your heading bug before you do that. Otherwise this happens. I'll answer that as soon as we're out of the airspace here. You can see the VOR starts moving towards the right, which means we're getting closer to the exit points. And if you quickly look at the chart, that was not what I wanted to show you. That's what I want to show. You see 114, that's the radial from the VOR, and the distance is 5.3. So now as soon as we get up onto the radial, we'll start turning to the right to fly that radial 114. And down the distance now is 3.1, so we still have about 2.2 to go. So now I don't need to get a clearance to the next airspace, because next airspace is Gulf and uncontrolled. But I still need to call her when passing the waypoint. So that's coming up here at 5.3, we're almost there. You can also see the line on the GPS. Sierra Victor Bravo, Hallingsjö, 1,400 feet.
Sierra Victor Bravo, for traffic information I suggest to contact Gothenburg Control 124.680. Have a nice flight, bye bye.
Many thanks, and for traffic information 124.680, Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, let's do
Echo India
that.
Sierra downwind.
It's a lot better to have traffic information, just see if there's anyone around. We can also set our turn a little bit to the left here to go towards the airport we're actually planning to go to. Göteborg Control, very good afternoon again, Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo, 1,400 feet just east of Hallingsjö, request traffic information towards Borås.
Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo, Göteborg Control, hello. No traffic reported at the moment in the vicinity.
No traffic reported in the vicinity, Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, so to answer the question, for a GCA as tower, I guess, or approach, yeah, well, the the tower you control, or the areas you control, you need to have a decent knowledge of how to clear them in and out for VFR. VFR is by far one of the weakest areas when it comes to IVAO controllers, I would personally say, and for myself as well as a controller, mainly because it's not used that much. However, with the new simulator and that you actually can fly VFR, we can already see a bit of higher usage of, or higher amount of, bigger amount of aircraft and pilots flying VFR. So yeah, if you know how to clear them in and out, know where to find the shards, then that should be enough. And some touch and goes, and that's normal stuff that everyone does on their ADC exams and trainings. Alright, so now we're in there. Yeah, we can climb to 2500, so let's do that. And since I'm still going to be in uncontrolled airspace, I don't need to ask for clearance. Only if I want to go higher than 2500 here. The reason why I want to go higher is, as you can see, we can actually look outside. If we have an engine failure, you don't have a lot of options. And if you're at 1500 feet, the chances are that you will not be able to restart the engine and you will end up in the forest. If you're at 2500, you have a little bit more time to try to restart the engine, and also you have a much better gliding distance, so maybe you can make it to one of these areas without too many trees, or why not land on the water. It's not my favorite, but I would rather go for the water than for the trees. Alright, so we can see our airport where we're going to. Echo Sierra Golf Echo is coming up here. Can't see it outside the window yet. Also, it's a lot easier to find your destination when you're a bit higher. The only important thing is to know your airspace and the surroundings, and make sure that you know that your map is three-dimensional and not only two-dimensional like your normal Google map. So I've actually flown to this airport some years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's down here somewhere, since it's just to the south of an industry area. You can barely see it there now. So this is uncontrolled. I don't need any clearance from anyone. And if there's anyone around, it's a good idea to check on WebEye now to see if there's someone there. Because if there is anyone around, then it's very useful to give a little bit of traffic information. In this case, I'm gonna go straight in. It's a hard runway, so it's asphalt. If it was a grass field, I would go for a low approach and have a look at it and see that there's, well, it seems to be fairly smooth and there's nothing parked there. You can go for that option even if it's an uncontrolled asphalt runway, but definitely If it is a grass runway, I would like to see it before I try to land on it. It might not have been. They might not have cut the grass for a while, and then you might come in for an something interesting. So plan from here is that we're going to land here and then we're going to fly back, and on the way back we're going to go into the TMA, so we're going to overfly the control zone just to be able to fly a straight line to our destination. Save some time, and we'll show you guys how to get the clearance into the TMA. And that would work the same if it was Sweden control online, for example. You'll still do the same. One of the hardest thing in the new simulator is to keeping it on the runway. I don't have any rudder pedals yet, so with the twist grip on the joystick it's not the best way. That's my excuse, by the way. That's a very big windstock. Alright, parking brake set, everything is done. Get off there. Cool, since we're gonna fly back now straight away, I'm just gonna refile my flight plan very quickly here. And there we go. I should be able to see it now. So from Echo Sierra Golf Echo to Echo Sierra Golf Papa. However, this time we're gonna fly it at 3,000 feet. And we're gonna fly it in a straight line. Because we're gonna enter about here, and the straight line is the faster line. So let's take this lake. It's a quite big lake. That's gonna be easy to verify, and we will need to have at least one waypoint. So we put that there. And can, if we're lazy, just take away the two last digits here from the coordinate and copy it into our flight plan. So let's make a new one. Oh, we do have a GPS as well, even though we're not using it. Departure time 15:15. Sounds like a plan. 110. That's not how you spell that. VFR, because we're still doing the 3000. If I fly above 3000 above the ground level, you should file an altitude. And if you fly, for example, westbound, it would be 045, so 4500. Actually, let's do that. That makes more sense. If you fly eastbound, it would be 035 or 055, 075. Direct to the waypoint, direct to the airport, which is Echo Sierra Golf Papa. ET, probably about 20 minutes. What did it say? Yeah, 20 minutes. Alternate we don't need since we're VFR. Don't really need anything in there. Well, we should actually have this since I am very much streaming. Endurance, we wasted about, what, 40 minutes, so 420 left. 2 persons on board. Filed. So, any questions so far? So point is just to take us from A to B in the quickest way without having to enter here and fly via the entry-exit points. Even though, if I'm lucky, the tower can say you can fly straight through. You don't have to go via entry and exit points. But that depends on his or her traffic situation. Alright, so very simple. Seems like there's no wind. I'm gonna take off in the opposite direction on runway 22 instead. And we can already, since it is a new flight, we should go and squawk 7000. So they have to give us a new code. And we go 45. Set the heading bug. About there. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. Let's have a quick look on WebEye. Yeah, there's no one here. So let's go. Transponder on. Alright, let's go then. Alright, now we're in the air. We can go up to still to 2,500, I believe. No, in this area it's actually 4,500, so technically we can go all the way, but as you can see the line here is very close to us, so let's call them up and ask for clearance. Göteborg Control, hello again, Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo. Oh, seems like we were not connected properly. Let's try again. There we go. Göteborg Control, Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo.
Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo, Göteborg Control.
Sierra Echo Lima Victor Bravo, Cessna 172, 2 people on board. We're just west of Borås, 1,500, climbing 2,500. Request to enter the TMA towards Säve at 4,500 feet, squawking 7,000.
Sierra Victor Bravo, squawk 1172.
Squawk 1172, Sierra Victor Bravo. Set.
Sierra Victor Bravo, cleared into Gothenburg TMA, 4,500 feet or below.
Cleared in Gothenburg TMA, 4,500 feet or below, Sierra Victor Bravo. So let's get up there. Now what this means is that we are cleared in the TMA between the ground and 4,500 feet technically. However, the control zone is not part of the TMA, so once we get close to the control zone over here we can't go below 1,500, because then we need the clearance from the tower controller.
Sierra Victor Bravo, traffic information, Cessna 172, approximately 11 miles, 2 o'clock.
Looking for traffic, Sierra Victor Bravo. So 2 o'clock, 11 miles. That's pretty far away to be able to see. Yeah, I don't see it. And also 11 miles, I'm not gonna fly into it very soon. Pretty hard to see aircraft from, well, more than 10 miles. It's really difficult, especially in real life. Here sometimes you can see the lights. When I used to fly in my hometown in Sweden, it's a military airport, and sometimes they told us traffic information, military helicopter at 40 feet over the sea, and they're all grey painted. It's like really difficult to see.
Oscar Alpha Hotel, squawk 6277.
So I would say this lake
6277 Oscar Alpha Hotel.
here is where we put the waypoint. Just down here. So we're on our course. Course should be 275-ish. We're flying, yeah, 275. No, I'm lying to you. We're flying about 285. But we also took off on
Oscar Alpha Hotel, traffic information, Cessna 172, approximately 10 o'clock, 5 miles.
Departure routing, because we didn't take account
Looking for the traffic,
initial,
Oscar Alpha Hotel.
runway heading. So from here we should fly about 275 to get to the airport.
Victor Bravo, traffic information, Cessna 172, 1 o'clock, approximately 4 miles.
Looking for traffic, Sierra Victor Bravo. Yeah, can't see him. Alright, let's see if we can get some weather for the destination. Göteborg Control, Sierra Victor Bravo request.
Victor Bravo, go ahead.
Sierra Victor Bravo request weather information for Säve.
Victor Bravo, Metroport Säve, wind 310 degrees, 3 knots, QNH 997, cab OK, -2, dew point -6.
QNH 997, thank you very much. I'd request runway 19er for landing there. Sierra Victor Bravo.
Sierra Victor Bravo.
Alright, so when you get a Met report, the only thing you need to read back is the QNH and runway in use if it's mentioned. So you don't have to read back the wind, the temperatures, the clouds and all that. It's enough with the QNH. There's Gothenburg Airport, or Landvetter, where we were before.
Victor Bravo, clear to enter Säve control zone via Agnesberg, 1,300 feet or below.
Clear to enter Säve control zone via Agnesberg, 1,300 feet or below, Sierra Victor Bravo. Alright, so when we get to Agnesberg, which is the entry point, it's about just there. We will need to descend towards that. So now we're still over the TMA here, sorry, over the control zone of Landvetter, but that only goes up to 1500, so we can start our descent slowly. That wasn't as slowly as I had planned. So a quick look again at the visual approach chart. We're going to come in from the right here via Agnesberg. Agnesberg, Swedish, probably sounds better. And then we're going to enter between these two sectors here. So here's a paragliding sector, and here's a mainly noise abatement sector. They don't want you to fly over there. And then join in here and possibly go for a straight left base and straight in landing. So we're now passing 4000. Let's increase our descent a bit, otherwise we'll never get there in time. Same thing again now. As soon as we get to Agnesberg, the reporting point here, we will need to report that straight away to the controller.
Good board control, very good day sir. Lufttransport 149, we request clearance to Gardermoen.
Lufttransport 149 Göteborg Control, very good afternoon. Startup approved. Cleared Gardermoen. Go back to Juliet departure. Walk 234.
We are clear to Gardermoen, Sabak 2, I can remember, Sabak 2 something, departure scope 2340, Lufttransport 149.
Lufttransport 149, Sabak 2 Juliet departure.
Sabak 2 Juliet departure for Lufttransport 149.
And now we're outside of
Lufttransport 149 read back right.
Control zone of Gothenburg anymore, so now we can continue descending below 1500.
Good board control, Lufttransport 149.
149, pass the message.
I only find a Sabak 3 Juliet departure from runway 21. Is it correct for Lufttransport 149er.
Lufttransport 149er. Yeah, that should be correct. They have changed the Iraq, so it's Novak 3 Juliet.
Novak 3 Juliet, Lufttransport 149er, thank you.
Just about making 1300 here. Sierra Victor Bravo, Agnesberg, 1,300 feet.
Sierra Victor Bravo, join final runway 19er.
Join final runway 19er, Sierra Victor Bravo. Good, and we'll fly the airport in straight in front of us. Runway is over here. Fly straight for a left base and then report final for a full stop landing. If you have any final questions or any other doubts, please ask me.
Request startup, no need for push. Lufttransport 149er.
Lufttransport 149er. Startup approved, QNH 909. Startup.
Startup is approved, QNH 997, Lufttransport 149er.
Good about control, good day sir. This is Silverhorse 3977. Request startup and clearance to Cologne.
3977, Gothenburg is soon to close. Contact Sweden, frequency 128.055.
128.055, thank you, bye bye.
Alright, since we're coming to our end here, the intention of today's stream was to let you know a bit more about VFR flying and how it's performed, and I hope I accomplished that.
Request taxi,
Hope you
Lufttransport
enjoyed
149er.
it. And bear in mind,
149er for taxi, contact Sweden, frequency 128.055. Bye bye.
but I hope you got something out of it.
Contact
That's
Sweden,
really
Lufttransport
fixed.
149er.
Any of your doubts or questions you had before was answered with this stream, and that you come away with it a bit better prepared for your next VFR flight. Sierra Victor Bravo, final runway 19er.
Sierra Victor Bravo, surface wind is calm, runway 19er, clear to land.
Runway 19er, clear to land, Sierra Victor Bravo.
Göteborg Control, Scandinavian 41 Whiskey at Göteborg, stand 15, QNH 997 hectopascals, Airbus A321 Neo, requesting a clearance to Oslo Gardermoen, please.
Scandinavian 41 Whiskey, unfortunately soon to close. For clearance, Sweden, frequency 128.055.
Sweden 128.055, it says, then Scandinavian 41 Whiskey, bye-bye.
Sierra Victor Bravo vacating.
Sierra Victor Bravo, taxi to the apron.
Taxi to the apron, Sierra Victor Bravo. Tack så mycket, thank you very much.
Tack och hej. All stations, Göteborg Control is closing.
Alright, we're off the runway. We're all good. It was a good flight. Thank you very much for joining. If you have any quick questions, please let me know now. Alright then, thank you very much for joining. See you next time and have a really good afternoon and evening. Thank you. Bye.